Nice to see you again, Stephen.
Good to see you too, Earla. How you doing today?
I'm really good. We've recorded a couple of these in line, so that's good. They'll be in the bag for when we want to tell people because it's just over 3 weeks until the summit. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it'll be here quicker than we realize.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And I love a deal. So $10 off if you use your name, PH, or mine. So that's great. And I'm going to be teaching how to make zines. Do you have any paper handy, Stephen? I'm
Ooh,
catching him on
yeah.
the spot. I'm catching him on the spot.
Da-da-da.
When I do so just before Maya, I think she's gonna just before, I'm not sure when it's gonna happen, but she will, when people sign up, they will be getting some information about how to make a zine and how to create one. So I'm gonna just, like I said, put Stephen on the spot and he's got his paper. That's great. So I was talking to a friend today and she said, you showed me a long time ago, but I need to do it again, Erla. And she said, I can't remember. I said, you know what? And she goes, it was hard. And I go, you know what? We've done harder things, and it's just that we're not used to it. When I started making, so zines are little handmade books. It's like an abbreviated word for the word magazine. They started out in the 40s. And then when photocopiers came in, that was a really big deal. And then people started being able to, because what it is, it's self-publishing, basically. And so people started doing that because oftentimes the things that we are passionate about, want to complain about even, are not run in mainstream media. So I think the reason why I gravitate towards zines is it's like a social justice thing. They're not out there in mainstream, but it's something that you can use to get your message out, to get out of your body how you're feeling. So I'm going to quickly show you how to make a zine. And what I usually do is I start with a long size piece of paper like that. You can also rip something out of your journal. And the way I was taught is always use, because I'm a hippie from a while ago, try and use recycled paper. But today we'll just use brand stuff, brand spanking new. So you got your paper and you're going to fold it in half. And if you want to have neat looking zines, you want to make sure that the corners are touching, just like that. Oftentimes people have said in the past, it's like you take your page and then you make a hot dog bun and then you make a wiener, or yeah, hot dog bun and then a hamburger bun. So you can do that if you like. So you've got it in half and then you're going to do it in half again. And Stephen, when I first started after Leanne died, I couldn't even fold paper. So I just used my sketchbook and I would put, because we're going to use we're making an 8-sided book actually. So,
Mm.
why we're going to fold it into eight. So you've got it like that. And then you're going to, yeah, and then you're going to go like that. And then you're going to fold it one more time. There we go. And I used to carry things like this in my purse just to have them handy when things came up. That is how I got out of my body how I was feeling about all sorts of things after Leanne died. So now so we're going to open it up just like that, and you've got the middle here, okay, where it kind of goes like that. You've got the middle.
Hmm.
You can use scissors. You can cut it in half like this. And you can use scissors right there in the middle, or you can do what I learned as a kid and was reminded when I was an adult, you can lick it. Some people are grossed out. I say it's just paper. So what you're doing is you're licking it because you're weakening the paper. So you can rip it. You don't need scissors. And there we go. So uh, you can kind of see that it's a little bit on the weaker side there. So that's what you want. You want the paper to split apart. I could have used scissors, but I'd have to go looking for them. Okay. And you can even, if you hold it up, you'll see that the paper is weakened there. So then you just use your finger and just kind of gently press it open like that. Now, if this is too much, you can take a piece of paper and split it into eight. That's good too. But I think, I don't know, I always like to say we've gone through our siblings' death. We've had to do so many needful, hard things, and this is eventually it's going to be a little bit easier because this is the first time you've ever done it, and the next time it'll be a little bit easier. So, how you have it like that, does yours look anything like mine, Stephen?
Good question.
So it's kind of like a diamond shaped in the middle. And yeah. So sometimes I've accidentally cut there. Let's see. And
Oh, I think I did.
okay. We were talking about perfection first. Okay, there you go. Okay, good. Okay. You're doing good. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half and then you're going to squeeze it like that. Yeah.
So were you supposed to do it vertically?
Um it it doesn't usually matter. Like you mean like this?
So mine, yeah, no, I'm talking about the cut.
Oh, okay, the cut. Um
So I did mine
Huh, that's
horizontal,
interesting. Okay.
short side.
Yeah. I'm not really sh that's a really good question. Done it. You know what? I'm dyslexic too, so that's hard. Like I said, you and I were talking about perfection earlier on, and we're not going to do this perfect, Stephen. And you have more paper, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. You know, I could show people like I mean I've taken cartooning courses. I can show people how to like because to me it's we're telling a short story. We're going to come up with have a theme to share with people, and then we're going to take use that theme to take off and make our zine. We can do
Mm.
it like I just brought my this is my sketchbook that I had beside me when after Leanne died, and this is how I did it. Like sometimes I would just do it like that, full page,
Mm.
no lines, and then this was the first one I made. So you can see there's eight panels. And I'm verbose, so there's a lot of printing on there. Doesn't have to be. You can always use just pictures. How'd it go with the second try? Yeah. Oh, I see what you did. Okay, did you put it did you put it right here on one side?
So no, I did it the short way.
Okay.
So it's
Oh,
yours because yours
okay.
is up and down vertically. Mine is like the short.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
So
you did it right here, right? In the middle.
yeah,
Ah, you know
instead
what?
of this way.
Yeah, you know what? Fold it in half. So yeah, fold it in half. That's right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, there you go. You're gonna make a skinny one. Yes, there you go. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So you're gonna squish it together. Yeah, that's right. Squish it together like that. Yeah.
Would I need to it feels like it needs more
Folds.
folds.
Yep. So you
Oh.
can put a fold in there. Yeah, I've done it yeah, I forgot about that. Hey, you're kind of reminding me of when I showed the hospice volunteers one night and Lucy, the director of programming, she had a heck of a time. Like she finally ripped it and but it was okay. Yeah, so yeah,
So you
okay.
fold it.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. You've got your opening like that, and you're gonna close it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're gonna Yeah, fold it. Let's see.
Does
Yep.
it go down?
Yeah. Fold it down. Yeah. Yeah. There. Okay. See if you have a little book.
Um,
Okay.
well, well, yeah, when you say it looks like a book, what does
Okay.
that
That's
mean?
okay. You got it like that. Okay, good. Okay, close it like that. And can you fold it down? Like when you're like this and then fold it down? Mhm. Yeah.
Mm, hmm.
Yeah. Fold it in. Yeah, that's okay.
I don't know, I'm like visual. I'm like trying to like watch.
Okay. So you're like that. You're gonna
Uh-huh.
go like that, turn it on its side. That's right. Have your opening at the top. That's right. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna see. Okay, I'm gonna do what you do. Okay. Close it like that. Can you make it like look like that? Yep, there you go. That's it. Yep. And then and then that center one, you're gonna fold it in. Yep, that's it. And you're gonna fold it in half. There you go. Okay. And that's our show for today, folks.
A really small book.
It is a small book. And honestly, I've made some recipe books like that. Just like
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
I've done all sorts of things. When I showed this a hospice group how to do this lady says, "Do you only make zines about death and grief?" I said, "No. I've got all sorts of ones." So that was really hard. But you know what? The next time you do it, it's going to be a little bit easier. It's going to be maybe a little bit neater. And it's kind of like how we have to go through grief. Like it's so unbelievable. It's like we've never seen this before. How are we going to get through it? But
Hmm.
if we're lucky, there'll be somebody in our life that can guide us, lead us, show us that we can learn from. And that's kind of why I guess I like zines too. It's just um because I'm a book person, the first time I saw one, I absolutely loved it. And I will read you my very first one off camera. It's kind of a little bit funny. But yeah, so that's what it is. And so what you can do is you can I'm just going to do it quickly here. So you have your cover, and then you
Hmm.
can go one, two, turn the page, three, four, like that, five, six, B for back, F for front. And that I might even do that for people because if it's really hard and they can't do it, but they still want to try. So they've got a little book that looks like that. So your front cover, one, two, three, four, five, six, and then back cover. Okay.
Hmm.
And so you can kind of open it up again if you dare. And so so what you can do, you can also photocopy this. Um, you can share it that way, sending it to people, but I rarely do that. I have most of mine just kind of I like to share them personally with people instead. So yeah, so um the the session that I'm going to be doing is called Sharing the Mud, Savoring the Sky, and we're going to be talking about how there's two sides to life. There's grief and there's joy, or sadness and hope, and we're going to be talking about what we've experienced, what we have like, and then thinking about the joy that we've had in our life, thinking about hopefully the joy that will be coming. I like to think of it, even today, it's cloudy out there, but there's a little patch of blue. And, at first, early days, there is no blue. There is no blue in the sky. But after a while, you're mired in grief. But after a while, the sun comes out and maybe your path dries up a little bit. It's maybe easier for you to move. And that's kind of what we're going to go through. I like to just um, uh, invite people to do this, and then they kind of run with it, run with their ideas. I'll have different kinds of zines to share if we have time, but it's going to be a nice, quiet time to try it out. And then we'll be witnessing each other's stories too. I don't know if we can do breakout rooms. What do you think, Stephen?
Hmm. Good question. It's on a
Yeah.
different platform. It's on what's called Ring Central. And so it's
Okay.
similar to Zoom. So I want to
Yeah.
imagine that you can do
Yeah.
breakout.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see. But anyway, I've probably taken lots of your time here. But I'm glad that you tried it out. And I'm just going to show you. This was the very first zine I made. It was in my scrapbook. Like I said, I couldn't make the folds, but I knew how the order goes. So
Mm,
so I made this one. And I'm going to read it. And while I read it, I just want you to, like, if you have a pen handy, you can doodle in your book, write down some words that maybe resonate with you. We'll just kind of wing it. Is that okay? Okay.
mhm,
Making books makes me feel better. My daughter will love this little book. At Grief Group, I shared this with them. Written and illustrated by Library Book Girl. I love to make my own books. Sometimes I'd rather write my own than read other people's books. Lately, I make little books a lot because my sister died and I am so sad I can't say it out loud. So I say it here. Skip, skip, stick people are people too, Stephen.
mhm.
I'm kind of embarrassed that I loved her so much. There's a little picture of her and I. I miss you. People might think I'm crazy because I use lots of Kleenex every day. I try to be normal and act like I'm good, as in okay or fine, and I cry when no one's in the house. All of these work sometimes, some days, and then I'll think of her. And I drew a little picture here of a house with people walking by, and that out of the house it's saying, "Wow, I'm crying," and then the neighbors are saying, "What's that sound?" I don't know. So that was happening. I envisioned that in my neighborhood. And another box of Kleenex is empty before you know it. But I do have a place that I can go and talk most of the time. I feel I am safe to talk about my sister. They have Kleenex and quiet spaces, people who listen and talk about the people they loved who also died, and a kitchen with tea and sometimes cookies. And I can cry, and it's okay because they sometimes cry too. And that's a picture of the people that I went to grief group with. And
Mm,
uh, and then I wrote, dedicated to the girl I met at hospice who loves to make books and her uncle Kevin. Yeah,
right.
yeah. So that's just a little book that, it was how I was feeling. I realized, oh, geez, making books, writing makes me feel better. So I kind of wanted to put it down. Yeah. And then I guess I'm talking about hospice too and being in a group. There were no
Mhm.
siblings, and that's
Yeah, I
what,
feel like
yeah.
it's always a mix, right? Like it's always great to find people and groups with similarity, right? So sibling loss, and I think it's also great that there are some spaces that su are supportive to sibling grief because not
Mhm.
all are. And I know oftentimes people are like, oh, don't talk about bad stuff and or like don't down like it's the truth. There
Yeah.
aren't a lot of spaces that are like, oh, like you're welcome here. Like I've been in
Yes.
places where it hasn't happened to me, but it has happened to other siblings. You don't
Hmm.
belong here. Like
Hmm.
it's a grief conference and anyone who's there is welcome there because
Yes.
of the grief, not because of my losses were or my loss
Yes.
is worse than yours. And
Yeah,
like comparisons
exactly.
that was like, ugh, like that's gross. Like,
Hmm.
your pain might be extremely painful, and I don't know what that is, but my pain is also valid and real as a sibling. And why can't we just honor we're both in the, SHITTY
Yes, yes,
pain?
exactly. Yep, exactly. Yeah. And that's why, again, the conference, or I call it a conference, but the summit is just so important because
Mm,
its main focus is for siblings. There's nothing else like it out there, and it happens once a year. So I'm just really appreciative that you and I are going to be there and hopefully some people that watch this. Yeah. So,
Yeah, and
so,
I think too, like the big thing before we end is,
mhm,
especially when you're doing sheens, is that I feel like it's like short. Like it's not this like we're gonna spend a whole hour in our grief
mhm,
or a whole hour
mhm.
talking about it. It's just like it's a little project. It gets the brain stimulated, and anyone who gets frustrated, like I'm on camera, so I'm trying not to get frustrated. Even though it probably took me 5 minutes just to fold the damn thing.
It happens. It happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, I'm a dog with a bone, so I'm gonna figure this out. And now I make them on my computer because my writing is so messy. So I do ones on my computer, and I've got a template I can share
Ooh.
to
Oh,
people.
cool.
So it's really nice because then I don't have to um yeah, and again, if people want, I can share it like that, so you can just flatten it and
Mm.
photocopy it. Um, but it's just because I love books. I love all different kinds of resources, and yeah, I even did one on podcast. So I'm gonna have
Oh, cool.
Maya share that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
it's a different way to get grief out of the body because like even when you think about when people tell like take notes and people are like, "Oh, I hate taking notes." Well, writing things down helps you
mhm,
remember things, which is the
yeah.
opposite of what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
But writing things down also helps things get out of your mind and onto the paper. So it's another expression of grief when you don't have to talk about it, but you can.
Hmm. Exactly. And at first when I went to grief group, I couldn't even read these out loud. I had to hand it to somebody or else I would just cry.
Yeah.
So, but I had to get out of my body, right?
Hmm.
So, thank you for being patient. I kind of surprised you with, hey, do you want any paper, Steve? But I'm glad you had the good humor and you hung in there. Did you like when I was reading my story, did anything come to you or did you draw anything or I'm just curious.
Yeah, I feel like it just is an example of different ways that we can process grief, right? Because
Hmm.
when I think about it, right, I didn't do anything until like 5 years later because I didn't know what was out there. I
Hmm.
know I wasn't necessarily looking for it, but I was also 16. So it's like if we don't know these things exist, then how can we process our grief when we don't know? And this was again 24 years ago.
Yes, yes,
There was less minimal
yes.
then, right?
You're
And
right.
so it's really great to have, people like both of us who do different
Hmm.
practices with siblings and grief and how we can process them without talking about it. But, there's elements too, right? Like at the end of my sessions, if people want to share, they can share. When they write a
Yes,
book, they can share the book. They can have someone
that's
else
right.
share it or even just
Hmm.
read it. It doesn't have to be out loud, but
Yes.
you can share the pain of the grief with someone else
Hmm.
so that you don't have to carry it alone. So
Yeah,
like
exactly.
for me, the sheen is an example of that.
Yes.
You can write, you can do stick figures, you can,
Hmm.
get, colored pencils and
Get
like,
fancy, yeah. I'm gonna have
yeah,
people, if they want, bring some art supplies. I mean, this was just made with pencil crayon, and a felt pen.
yeah.
So it can happen, yeah. Well, thanks so much, Stephen. I'm so glad we got together like this, and I'll see you on the 24th.